Hi there folks, welcome to RRTV's live coverage of the Australian Online Supercar Championship. We're coming to you live tonight from Sonoma for the Sonoma 6060. And as you can see, they're coming out now to start their qualifying. But before we get into it, of course, our commentary team tonight is myself and Bailey Hall. Welcome, Bailey. It's going to be an interesting night.
Yeah, sure is, Bernie. It's going to be one great night for sure. The 60s are always fun and exciting. You see all the cars battle it out, trying to get as many positions up as quick as possible. They're only 18-lap races tonight, so they've got to get it done really quickly.
Yeah, they certainly do, and we'll bring up the details now on exactly what we're going to see, and just bring this up now. As you can see, folks, not a very good picture, but round 6, 2 by 18 lap sprint races here tonight, and there's going to be qualifying for race 1. Then we're going to have the race, go to another server, qualify again, and have the second sprint race. Incident limit tonight, Bailey, is 15 per race.
Yeah, around Sonoma you're going to pick up a lot of incidents on the curbs, making sure you don't run over those ones. As I was practicing earlier in the week for future races, the curbs will kill people and you'll see them bounce off it, and I'm sure there'll be a few incident points picked up from those tonight, Bernie.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of incident points. I think we were saying before we went on air there was about 50 cars waiting to get into the server, so I think we're going to be at maximum capacity of 60 cars here tonight, and quite honestly, Bailey, I'm not sure how 60 V8 supercars are going to make it around this circuit.
Yeah, I'm quite worried myself, Bernie. Exact car count for tonight's race, 53 cars in Server 1. See how many cars will survive in the Server 2, but at the moment there's a lot of cars out there qualifying. It's still very congested, and you know, your lap times are still quite high to the normal lap times they're doing due to the congestion on the track.
Yeah, exactly right. The trouble they're going to have is just getting that clear track. And we can see the guys out there now, and nose to tail, not a lot of room there. A bit like peak hour, as we say in Pitt Street, and there's the 015, and having a bit of a moment. But also, Bailey, the guys tonight are racing. Well, they're not racing, they're all competing for a fantastic prize of the F1 GT Formula 1 and GT Simulator provided by Pagny in Australia. $699 value, and I really like the way they do this. You get basically 1 point for every round you complete as a classified finisher. Each driver with the lowest incident count, except for Enduros, gets another entry, and then of course RRTV, whoever gets picked for the driver of the night, gets 2 entries. So it doesn't go to the person who wins the series, it's going to go to the person with the most entries. So that's going to be someone's very lucky to win that.
Yeah, that's an awesome prize, and I think you've done an awesome job of putting that one up for the series and the most points. It just proves that you don't have to be winning every race to actually have a chance at winning a prize, and it's great to see, Bernie.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's absolutely awesome. So the other thing we've been doing, folks, is we've got a hot lap video which we're going to bring up for you very shortly from Performance Sim Sports. I was lucky enough to meet up with the guys yesterday in their warm-up practice, and they were kind enough to put together a nice video for us. So I'll get that queued up and we'll take a look. AOSC hot. Okay, so let's go over and have a look at this hot lap. Or maybe we won't. I'll find out what's going on, then we'll come back to it. Sorry, folks. Tonight's AOSC Hot Lap is brought to you by Performance Sim Sports, MF Race Art, Motion Performance Exhaust Centre, West End Mazda, GDH iRacing Images, and WP Concreting. Hi there folks, welcome to tonight's hot lap of the Australian Online Supercar Series. We're coming to you from Sonoma. As you can see out there, we've got two gentlemen you will most likely know. That's Farzan Al Nabi and Marlon McMullen from Performance Sim Sports. Welcome guys, and thank you for doing the hot lap with us tonight. Before we get going, Farzan, can you tell us a little bit about Performance Sim Sport and when it was formed?
Yeah, sure. So we were formed late 2015, season 4. We're primarily a V8 team. We're managed by Daniel Trim, and yeah, we've got some new sponsors on board in Western Mazda and Motion Performance Exhaust as well. So yeah, we're hopefully going to get good backing from them and yeah, achieve greater things. So yeah, we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah, fantastic, and I've noticed you're carrying some beautiful new liveries here tonight.
Yeah, our liveries are made by GDH Images, which is managed by Grant Hines. So yeah, he's done a fantastic job with them, and yeah, we'll be running them over the next 12 months. So yeah, we're all looking forward to that.
Fantastic. Well, anyway, it looks like you're ready to start your hot lap, guys. So let's get to it and see what one lap around Sonoma's like.
Yep, sweet as. So coming onto the front straight, we're gonna get to 5th gear here, and then turn 1 we're gonna use all the engine braking. 4th, 3rd, and then 2nd, clipping this curve on the right. Make sure you get a good exit off this turn here. Coming up to 3rd gear here, make sure you use all the engine braking, clipping the curve on the left, then on the right. Make sure you get really good traction off this crest here. Then back to 3rd of this corner, you might want to clip this curve here. Use all of the right on the exit. 4th, then back to 2nd for this right-hander. Make sure you miss this curve here, and then try and get good drive off it. And yeah, I'll hand it over to Marlon. Over to you, man.
Thanks, Farzan. G'day, guys. Trying to come into the back sector, we want to be in 4th or 5th gear, straddle these curves very gently. As we come over the crest, we want to modulate the power, very ginger down here. Try to line up this corner on the big inside curve. You don't want to whack it too hard. Try and modulate the power on the exit, avoid the gravel. Set yourself up for the last corner. Take a big deep breath. Try not to lock the brakes. Stay nice and close to those tyre bundles. Nice and easy on the exit, which I didn't do. And then focus on the last corner. One more wall to avoid, and that's a lap of Sonoma.
Fantastic, guys. Thanks for taking our viewers on a fast lap around Sonoma. It looks like it's going to be a very interesting race tonight, and I'd like to wish you all the very best of luck, and hopefully we'll see you on the podium this evening.
Hopefully. Thanks a lot, Bernie.
Yeah, thank you, Bernie.
So folks, that was a hot lap with Performance Sim Sports around Sonoma. And Bailey, it's interesting, we had Farzan Al Nabi, Marlon McMullen were kind enough to do that. And I'm looking at the qualifying, they are at the moment sitting 1 and 2.
Yeah, they've shown some very impressive speed over the last couple of nights. And tonight their efforts shown off as the 1-2. Along with a lot of other names at the moment out in the field. You got Brian Borg sitting down in 10th position at Bernie, and Henry King's in 14th. There's some big names out there at the moment.
Yeah, there certainly are. There's also a lot of big names hitting the wall at the moment as well, which we saw during the hot lap video while that was being run. So at the moment we can see Ethan Warren. He's out there sitting in 3rd, and he's a member of the All-Star Racing.
Yeah, Ethan Warren stepping in for his older brother tonight, Dane Warren, who is extremely quick on the track, and you can see where Ethan gets it from, currently out there in 3rd, and I'm hoping him the best of luck tonight. Along with Thomas Millen, he's now 5th, and Ford's just jumped in the 4th spot, Bernie.
Okay, so it's starting to mix up a little bit here. We can see Ethan coming down the back part through the S's here. His target tonight, folks, if he wants to improve, is a 1:11.982. If he wants pole, it's a 1:11.906. He's coming into the final hairpin now, and it's a 1:09. I'm not sure if he just clipped that wall. I think he did, and that puts an end to his run.
Yeah, unfortunately that will, as soon as you get an X on the track, you'll lose your lap in qualifying. You'll have to start it all over again. You'll get probably, you will not get another chance, about 50 more seconds of qualifying remaining. So the grid will pretty much stay as is, I'd say, Bernie.
Yeah, well, he's tucked right in underneath Brady there as we see one of the GTI boys spinning. We're going to get a bit used to that, I think, tonight. With, it's a pretty sandy surface here at Sonoma, and the boys are definitely struggling, as we can see. Who's this person coming into the pits the wrong way? Jason Bentz.
The Bentz, he wouldn't be too surprised about that, but he's a few burnouts. You'd want to hopefully make sure you win the race before you pop too many of those.
Yeah, I think so. You know what the boys are like. Whenever they can, they're going to go and have a bit of fun, and we can see that at the moment. Yeah, we've got like to welcome all our international viewers wherever you're watching it, whether you're on our YouTube channel or through iRacing Live. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed the V8 Supercars tonight at Sonoma. We'll do our very best to make it entertaining for you, that's for sure. But let's have a look at our grid and see where your favourite driver will be starting tonight. So Forza Nabi from Performance Sim Sports will start out of position 1, followed by Marlon McMullen in 2. Ethan Warren, he qualified in 3rd. Ian Ford, keep an eye on him tonight, starting from 4th. We've got Brady Mayers, he's starting from 5th. 6 is Thomas McMullen. Then we have Jason Hyde in 7th, 8th Jason Bentz, Riley Blythe 9th, 10th Michael Hammond, 11th Brian Borg, and rounding out your top 12 is Michael Tallenjack.
13th currently is Daniel Williams, 14th Sean Thompson, Henry King will start out of 15th, Dave Oliver 16th, and Daniel Trim out of 17th, Jaden Borg out of 18th, 19th Gene Fittis, and rounding out your top 20 Mitchell Campbell, 21st Luke Page, 22nd Brett Loxton, Mitchell Bales out of 23, and Paul Preston rating out your top 24.
Yeah, out of 25th we have Brenton O'Brien, followed by Wayne Taylor in 26th. Wayne Pengilly will start out at 27th, Braden Bateman 28th, 29th Tony Gaffer, 30th is David Miller. Out of 31st we have Stephen Varga, then followed by Gary Dawkins. Duran Nikora in 33rd, 34th Paul Tajavara, Paul Chakudi out of 35th. Out of 36th tonight is Daniel Vassell.
37 Simon Minnesimo, 38th Matt Leportovin, and 39th Jacob Knight, 40th Daniel Stevens, 41st Sean Chappell, 42nd Shannon Mason, and 43rd Carl Stokes.
And we're underway here at Sonoma, and so many cars here, we did not get through all of them, but a good start here. Hold on to your hats, folks. Oh, there's already a big accident before they even get to the first corner, and it's already starting, Bailey.
Definitely is already starting. We saw 3 cars in the back of the field there go off into the walls, head on, turn left, but it's going 2 by 2 up over the hill at the moment, and we're going to have to hold on to our hats for sure, as you said, Bernie, as we head into the sharp right-hander here.
Yeah, we can see one of the WPC cars getting it sideways. All the guys are checked up, but that's fine. They're being very cautious on this first lap. And let's have a look at the top runners at the moment. So we have Matt Lepotovin leading Forza Nabi, followed by Marlon McMullen 3rd, Ian Ford 4th, Ethan Warren is in 6th position.
They're pretty much single filed out at the moment with a lot of cars coming through the S's and don't want to come through there too wide upwards and get a bit dangerous, but as they approach the second lap now, Bernie, it's pretty much mellowed out now.
Yeah, they've pretty much spread out, haven't they? There's quite a few cars with a lot of damage back there. We saw Brett Loxton, he's already in the pits with a lot of damage to that car. Looking further down though, we can see Michael Hammond at the moment sitting in 9th. He's starting to put the blowtorch on the back of Riley Blythe, and Jason Bentz is just in front of him. Further back in the field, and this is where it starts getting interesting, we've got Dave Oliver in 14th, and even further down the field we have Mitchell Bales 21st, Wayne Pengilly, we saw him sliding a bit, he's in 22nd position, up 5 positions from where he started. Oh, we've got an accident.
There's a big one at the back there, not quite sure who it is. I'll figure that one out just now, but Brent O'Brien down in 25th or 24th at the moment as they go 3 wide into the S's.
Yeah, that was Wayne Pengilly coming into contact with one of the drivers, one of the other cars. That car spun. All the drivers managed to avoid that incident. So good racing. Or more contact back here with the 55, and he was banging wheels with, it looks like it might have been Daniel Stevens.
Yeah, that was a big one there. The 818 car was the one who spun back at there. I haven't got a name for you right now, but I'll get that one to you shortly.
Yeah, that was Braden Bateman there that had that spin. He's in 38th. Even though he spun, Bailey, he's still up 4 positions from where he started.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of carnage as the people at the back, if they can keep it nice and clean, get through lap by lap, they'll eventually make up some spots, and the 1 to 2 positions will turn into 5s, which will turn into 10s due to the short race. Everyone's looking to get up those positions as quick as possible. It's not enduro they haven't got all day.
No, they don't, but look at the difference up the front here, how peaceful it looks compared to up the back we've got at the moment. Forzen El Nabi, he's leading, Marlon McMullen, but keep an eye on Ian Ford. He's, I guess you could say, a sly fox, and we'll see what he's got up his sleeve for these boys tonight.
At the moment, he's all the way up the back of Marlon McMullen. He's catching him quite quickly at the moment. Currently, the quickest lap on the track is Ian Ford.
Yeah, and we're riding with him now as he comes into turn 1, up into turn 2, up to turn 3, down into second gear across the top here, and you can just hear him as he's feathering that throttle.
Yeah, there's a lot of throttle work coming around here, coming off the curves. You don't want to put too much throttle down too quickly, or that car's going to go sideways on you as Marlon McMullen hits the grass up a little bit there. Gets it back on track.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Marlon will have that Logitech full of his mirrors as Ian has a look on the inside now. He doesn't make it, but he has shown his nose, and no doubt that's got Marlon's attention.
Yeah, Marlon's definitely hanging on to the position at the moment. Blocking with all he's got at the moment, trying to make sure Ian Ford doesn't get past, because as soon as Ian Ford gets past, he gets fresh air. You know the speed he's got behind him, and will be able to catch Ford, and I'm sure very quickly.
Yeah, well at the moment Marlon's playing rear gunner to his teammate Forzen El Nabi, who's starting to stretch that lead. So Ian's going to want to get past as soon as he possibly can. At the moment he doesn't have much for him, but looking further back in the pack here we can see Michael Hammond, starting to put the pressure on Jason Bentz. And then Sean Thompson, he's also had a good start, up 3 positions, sitting in 11th, and he's battling it out with Daniel Williams at the moment.
Yeah, 2 rival teams, great teams battling it out at the moment. Sean Thompson all the way over the back of him at the moment. And you go back a position, PSS's Michael Talenjic is also getting some positions due to these 2 battling.
Yeah, well, Michael's pretty much where he started, out of 12th, and he's got a great view, hasn't he, as Sean Thompson looks on the outside of Daniel Williams, doesn't make that move, and he tucks back in again, and he's pretty much now single file all the way down to the hairpin, and if you're very brave you might try to throw it up the inside.
That's for sure, and currently the hard charger out on the track at the moment. We've got Stephen Varga up 9 positions along with Paul Preston, both up 9 positions. Paul's currently in 15th position, battling it out with Brian Borg.
Yeah, and Brian's in that beautiful Sadie's Australia livery there, and it looks like his brother's right behind him, Jaden Borg, in the Next Level Racing. He's up 1 position, 17th. Let's go deeper because that's where the action is, as we see now Stephen Varga going side by side with Wayne Taylor, and it looks like Wayne's going to have the upper hand. Stephen staying on the outside here. He should get the inside, bit of a slide there by Wayne Taylor, and Stephen Varga took the position, Wayne Taylor back, and I tell you what, these guys are at it.
These guys are definitely at it for sure. Whoever's got the upper hand at the moment, looks like this one's going to go to Wayne Taylor as he's going to keep pushing through the track. He dropped back another one. we've got the 026 of Brent O'Brien. He's got quite a fair bit of front end damage to that car, but he's pushing on quite quickly. Daniel Trim looked at the inside then, Bernie, but just tucked back in behind him.
Yeah, Danny's looking pretty racy, isn't he? He's right up on the back of Brenton O'Brien. Bit of a touch there, I thought, but he's backed out of it. And right behind him, he's got David Miller, also from Redback Racing, starting to put the pressure on. So I tell you what, it doesn't take much, does it, back here to get yourself into a bit of trouble?
Nah, not when everyone's fighting for sheep stations at the moment. Everyone's trying to put down as many moves as they can as quick as possible. We're pretty much on lap 7 at the moment, Bernie. 11 to go, so there's not much real estate left to go.
No, it's going to go quickly, that's for sure. And I'll tell you what, compared to last week's Enduro, these races are absolutely frantic. And, you know, the guys, because they have to make positions up in 18 laps around here, how many cars are on the track? 54 cars here at Sonoma tonight.
Crazy to see the amount of cars here, Bernie. Back up the front again, though. Jason Hyde is all over the back of Thomas McMillan with a little bit of damage, and he is looking to get that move on as quick as possible, Bernie, and continue up the track, chasing down Ethan Warren.
Yeah, and Thomas is up one position, sitting in 5th. Further up, though, let's have a look. At the moment, Ian Ford, he's still putting the pressure on Marlon McMullen here. Had a look up the inside of the hairpin, didn't work. He's lost quite a few car lengths here, dropping into the clutches of Ethan Warren. And then we have Thomas McMillan and Jason Hyde up in 5th and 6th, still battling. Riley Blythe, well, he's having a bit of a lonely race, isn't he? He's all by his lonesome, but I guess he's probably enjoying himself a little bit.
He's definitely loving having a bit of breathing room at the moment to make sure those distant laps continue, and make sure he doesn't injure the car or damage the car in any way. And later on in the race, he'll be able to push on and hopefully gain a few more positions. He's only made 2 up at the moment.
Yeah, so we can see Ian's dropped right off the back of Marlon McMullen. This is going to free Marlon up and help him start putting in those hot laps to keep up with his teammate. Of course, Forzen and Marlon were the fastest in qualifying for race 1, and they're definitely showing it now. Once Marlon gets his head forwards here, Bailey, and he's not being pressured, he should be able to possibly increase this gap on Ian Ford.
Yeah, he should be able to increase the gap quite quickly on Ian Ford if he can get rid of the draft that happens on the front straight and along the back of the S's coming into the hairpin. That's where Ian Ford seems to be gaining a lot of speed, but as we say that, the amount of speed Ian Ford's got coming through these hills at the moment is looking quite deadly.
Yeah, and we just saw there Sean Thompson getting into Daniel Williams there. He checked up. Now Michael Talenjic's having a crack at Sean, and that was through turn 1. 10 laps to go. Sean Thompson has his hands full now with Michael Talenjic right on his tail. Dave Oliver also coming to the party for Synergy Sim Sports.
Yeah, Sean Thompson cracked under pressure then, let Talenjic and Dave Oliver through the inside then, but Sean might be able to hold off Oliver. Oh! There
goes Sean Thompson.
Thompson on the top of Oliver's on it, and that was a big one there, and I'm sure Bernie you'll load up the replay for that one.
Yeah, we've got the replay right now. We're actually on the roof cam when that contact happened, but let's have a look at it. Dave Oliver on the inside. Sean Thompson turned down into him, and as we can see, Dave got into the quarter panel. Around goes Sean Thompson, 2 wheels. He was lucky he didn't flip that, Bailey.
He's quite lucky with the amount of damage he got. He was lucky he didn't flip it all the way over and get any more damage when he did. He should be able to continue on, hopefully just a little bit of steering damage.
Yeah, it cost him about 3 or 4 positions, but he's going, and fortunately he had a lot of runoff, so he's down to 16th now. So he's lost, about 3 or 4 positions during due to that incident.
Yeah, lost 2 positions unfortunately during that position as everyone starts to high charge up now. Everyone's in the second half of the race now. They've got a lot of, still a long way home, but definitely not that long when you're thinking the lap times of about 1 minute 12 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of room to have any rest whatsoever, is there? There's no long straights. I guess the longest straight you're going to have is coming into the hairpin, out of the hairpin, and maybe down the back part. But even that, you're not going to have time to catch your breath.
No, you definitely don't have time to catch your breath at all. Looking back in the pack a little bit, 22nd, you've got Daniel Trim now. He's all over the back of Stephen Vargar, who's looking a bit scrambled at the moment as Danny's trying to push up through the positions, trying to break the top 20, and if you drop back a little bit further, there's quite a big battle pack going on at the moment back in the 20. Sorry, I had a car here.
Yeah, big crash here with Wayne Taylor. I tell you what, he was absolutely lucky he didn't clean up. We'll just go back and have a look at this. He was making a move down in the S's here. It looks like he's on the back of Brenton O'Brien, and he's got two wheels up onto the ripple strip. Oh, he actually lost it. Two wheels up on the ripple strip, unsettling the car and into the wall heavily. He was extremely lucky he didn't get cleaned up, because he actually came back across the track in front of all the traffic through that S-bend.
Yeah, very lucky he didn't clean up any other cars. Could have been very unfortunate to see a car get taken out there from an unfortunate mistake from himself. But Jamie Knight in 30th position, he's rounding out your top 30. He's charging along alright at the moment, Bernie. He's made up 17 positions since the start.
Yeah, and he's in that beautifully prepared WP concrete entry. Of course, I'm not sure if he's in Performance Sim Sports, I think he is, and doing a good job there. As you said, 17 positions, definitely one of the movers here tonight.
Definitely another mover tonight is Paul Preston. He's up 12 positions. He's up the back of Henry King at the moment. That DGD custom entry. They're heading into turn 4 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find them at the moment on the screen, but let's jump back up to the front. As we can see now, Forsen starting to lap cars. He's coming up to the British taxi. He gets out of his way. Or is that a London taxi? I don't know. They look as bad as each other. So Forsen goes through. Ian Ford, he's up 2 seconds. So he's got past Marlin somewhere, and he's on the move.
Marlin unsettles the car a little bit coming out of the final hairpin of the track. And he'll lose a couple car lengths to Ian Ford at the moment, who's now on the hard charge, all the way up to Forsen El Nabi. Now, has Ian Ford got quite a fair bit of damage on that left front?
He certainly does. He's missing the front left fender there, and he's also got scrape marks down the whole left-hand side of the car. And it shouldn't affect him too much. He's looking at his pace. His fastest lap was 1:11.853. He's actually got the fastest lap of the race. His last lap was a 1:13.436, 1/10 slower than our race leader, Forsen El Nabi.
Yeah, the track is starting to slow everyone down the way it's racing at the moment. Most people are in the 13, 14 range in the top 25. Then you see the cars start to slow a bit more further down due to damage, etc. Bernie. But top 10 is very tight at the moment, under 20 seconds.
It certainly is, and if we have a look at your top 10, as we said, Forsen El Nabi has a lead, 2.5 seconds back to Ian Ford. Marlon McMullen is still trying to put the pressure on Ian to try to get that position back. Then 1.1 seconds down the road, we have Ethan Warren, and he's sitting in 4th. Jason Hyde having a bit of a lonely race, sitting in 5th position. Then we have Thomas McMillan in 6th, followed by Riley Blythe 7th. Jason Bentz, we haven't seen much of Jason. There he is. He's in 8th. Michael Hammond sitting in 9th position, and rounding out your top 10 is Daniel Williams. As we see now, Michael Hammond is starting to pressure Jason Bentz.
He's all over the back of him at the moment. Jason Bentz didn't get the nice run off turn 2 like he would have liked to. Looked like he locked it a little bit there, and that will put Michael Hammond a chance up the inside now. He'll take it and see what he can do if he'll have it. And it looks like he'll lock Jason Bentz out of that one. That will put Michael Hammond up into 8th position now.
Yeah, and that all happened when, of course, Jason got a little bit wide off the exit there, made him vulnerable, but what a move on Michael Hammond there. Threw it up the inside, clean move, and away he goes into 8th position.
Yeah, very nice pass there for sure.
And then we've got Daniel Williams, Michael Talenjak back here at 10th and 11th, and Michael is starting to put the pressure on Daniel, and he's looking at trying to get that car into the top 10.
Yeah, for sure. 1 lap down in 43rd position. Timothy Kleeman just hit the wall on the back straight right in front of Michael Hammond. That was quite scary for him, for sure.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find Timothy Kleeman, was it?
Correct. The 013 car, Timothy Kleeman. Hit the wall, not quite sure what happened there.
Yeah, we've got the... so that's the London-Melbourne taxi. That's Timothy's car. So let's have a look and see exactly what went on. Oh yeah, he got... a big incident. He basically got 2 wheels up onto the ripple strip, which totally unsettled the car and put him in the wall. And that's one thing we've seen, Bailey, since the new build, is the V8 supercars do not ride the ripple strips as well as they used to.
With the new tyre wear, definitely doesn't work, drive them as well, along with all the new settings in the cars. It doesn't like to ride the ripple strips at all. And talking about riding ripple strips, Forza Alnabi and Ian Ford are doing it well tonight though. Ian Ford is now 1 second behind Forza Alnabi, so this is going to be one hell of an end. We've got a few laps to go, 3 laps.
Yeah, 9/10 of a second is that gap now. Looking at the lap times, Ian took 4/10 of a second out with 3 laps, as we see Marlon McMullen scrape the wall trying to keep up with him. So it's going to come down, as you said, Bailey, the final lap is going to be a nail biter.
Yeah, considering Bernie, the 37 cars are on the lead lap, considering a couple will be overtaken this lap, it's going to definitely be one hell of a race. See, the top 20 now only spread by 37 seconds.
Yeah, so Ian Ford is the mover of the pack at the moment. A lot of action back deeper in the pack, of course. There's so much, Bailey. I just can't keep up with it. I think I'm going to have to put a highlight reel together with all these incidents because it'll be one hell of a highlight reel, that's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely would be. And it gets, how scary is it, Bernie, when they head into turn 1 and they just near miss that ball? It just looks like they're just going to hit it, flip it and lose it.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot of room, is there, as you see now Michael going through, and he just, as you said, just almost nicks the wall, but yeah. Now we can see Ian Ford keep it off the fence. He does. Geez, going wide there. He nearly took out our cameraman, and we're coming up to the last lap now. The gap was 7/10 of a second. We'll see what it is this time by, but Ian's throwing everything he can to try to close in on Forza. Now Forza's coming up to some traffic here, and depending on where he catches him, this could be Ian's chance.
This could be Ian's chance. He's got to go deep under the brakes now and get a nice exit out of the corner, which he does. I see a Pagnian car off the inside there, and he looks like he's all over the back of him at the moment. 6/10 down now.
Yeah, so the bets are on, folks. Is it going to be Forza Alnabi or is it going to be Ian Ford as we're coming along now? And we're on the last lap here at Sonoma for race 1. And I tell you what, that gap, 5/10 of a second, Ian's now closing up. Will he have enough, or is Forza going to take this win?
It's all going to be up to the final few turns, I'm quite sure, as lap cars get out of the way to let this battle continue. As we've got not many turns to go, about 6 turns left on the track, Bernie.
Yeah, you can see there Ian's now starting to spoke up the rears. He's not going to need these tyres for much longer, and coming into the S's for the final time, he's all over the back of Forza. Expect him to make a move here. I'm predicting if he's close enough, he'll throw it up the inside at the hairpin.
I'll definitely be giving it a shot up the hairpin for sure. He will not give this one up for sure. He'll give it all he's got as they come into the final couple turns, guys, of the final lap of race number 1. Here, brought to you by Pagnian Imports. Here it goes up the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line, Bernie.
Certainly is. Forza Malnabi puts the car in front of Ian Ford's nose to take race 1, but I tell you what, that gap there was nothing in that at all.
Yeah, 0.15 seconds of a gap to the final turn. You have to give props to Ian Ford for the hard charge at the final lap, getting that one down from 7/10. He did an amazing job to get on the back of him. But currently, unconfirmed P1 Forza Malnabi, Ian Ford and Marlon round out your top 3.
You can see now Mitchell Campbell coming through. He's up 2 positions, sitting in 17th. He'll finish in 16th as he makes 1 position to a car that must be parked in the pit somewhere. He comes across the line for race 1. Mitchell Bales right behind him. We've got Luke Page finishing in 18th. Daniel Trim as they still streak across the line here.
Yeah, they're all it's going to take a while for them all to get over the line. About half the field over the line at the moment. It's about the top 30 now over the line, Bernie.
Yeah, we can see now Daryl Hockey coming through, who was up 12 positions to finish 30th. Oh, look at Wayne Pengilly's car. I tell you what, this is a brand new paint job that they've released tonight, and the panel beaters are not going to be happy. That car is toast.
Yeah, they haven't got much time to get that car back up and running for race number 2, Bernie. So they're going to be getting that one in the shed as soon as possible and getting that all the panels they can and getting that back together.
One thing I do like about it though, Bailey, if you look at the front, the RRTV lights are still intact, so that's nice.
Yeah, the teammates give each other a little bit of a bump there. The RRTV lights look amazing, and great to see when cars put those lights on there or anything to do with RRTV. I'm sure yourself, Bernie, and we do as commentators appreciate you guys for doing that.
I love it when I see our logo out there, and the guys basically do it, you know, because they want to, so it's fantastic to see that support out there. But I tell you what, guys, we will take a breath and recount this race. We'll have a look at the finishing order, and then of course interviews, then it all starts again.
Another 18 laps still to come, guys, for race number 2 here at the Australian Online Supercar Championship, round number 6, Sonoma 6060.
Yeah, so let's have a look at our race results. Let's see who the biggest mover is, and of course the biggest shaker. Forza Malnabi started from pole position. He finished in pole position. Ian Ford up 2 positions. Good drive by Ian to come home in 2nd after he dispatched Marlon McMullen, who finished in 3rd. Ethan Warren, he came home in 4th. 5th, we had Jason Hyde. 6th, Thomas McMillan, followed by Riley Blythe in 7th. Then we had Michael Hammond in 8th. Coming home in 9th was Jason Bentz. Daniel Williams up 3 positions, coming home in 10th. In 11th is Michael Talenjak. Rounding out your top 12 is Dave Oliver, and he was up 4 positions.
13th was Brian Borg. 14th, Sean Thompson. Henry King came home in 15th position. Up 8 positions was Paul Preston in 16th. We saw him go up a few positions tonight. 17th, Jaden Borg. He went up 1 position. 18th was Mitchell Campbell. 19th, Mitchell Bales, up 4 positions. 20th, Luke Page. Losing 4 positions tonight was Daniel Trim in 21st. Stephen Varga up 9 positions in 22nd. 23rd was Brenton O'Brien, and rounding out your top 24 was David Miller.
So looking at 25th at the moment, Gary Dawkins, and now look at the position moves. Shannon Mason, 26, up 16 positions. Kyle Stokes just behind him in 27th, also up 16 positions. 28th was Connor McCluskey Young, up 20 positions. That's just incredible, isn't it? And 18 laps around here. Tony Gaffer comes home in 29th. Jamie Knight also up 17 positions in 30th. Gene Fittis down 12 in 31st. Daryl Hockey finishes in 32nd. Daniel Stevens 33rd. 34th Wayne Pengilly, and Colin Bruns 35th. Rounding out your 36 is Jacob Knight, and it looks like Connor McCluskey Young is the biggest mover so far.
That was a huge up 20 positions, but in 37th, 8th was Nick Hausler. 38th is Paul Tarjavar. 39th is Darren Lord, and 40 is Braden Bateman. 41st is Simon Mesimo. 42nd, Jerome Nicora. 43rd is Daniel Vassell. 44th was Sean Chappell. 45th tonight was Bretton Loxton. 46th, Matt Leporvaven. And 47th, Ian Ford 2. 48th was Paul Chet Cootie. And 49th was Timmy Fee Kleeman after the big crash. 50th was Matt Torkins. 51st, Wayne Taylor. 52nd, Matthew Clowett. 53rd, Brady Myers. And rounding out your field today in 54th was Eugene Blurton.
So the biggest mover by the looks of it was Connor McCluskey Young, and the biggest shaker looks like it goes to Brady Myers, who dropped 48 positions.
Yeah, that was a huge drop by Brady Myers to lose 48 positions out on the track. And you don't want to lose that many. He must have gone out pretty early in the race. But congratulations to Connor McCluskey Young, gaining 20 positions today, coming home in 28th.
Yeah, it was one heck of a race, wasn't it? And we're just waiting now for the second serve to come up, folks, and then we're going to cross over to it for qualifying and race 2. Of course, we've also got another hot lap for those that have just joined us, so that'll be done by Nick Hausler for Pagnian, and it'll be interesting. You can see the difference of driving style between the two drivers. Also, now that we've got abreast, folks, I'd like to welcome all the international viewers here. There was one gentleman that said hi from Holland earlier. Hello, welcome to our telecast. Sorry we didn't say hello earlier, but we had our work cut out for us. Also, we've got a gentleman joining us from Wagga Wagga, so welcome also. And of course, I come from Canberra, so we're not too far away, that's for sure. But we're just waiting for the server to come up, and we will be back racing very shortly. But I tell you what, Bailey, if race 2 is anything to go by race 1, it's going to be a heck of another race here.
I cannot wait, Bernie, for the race number 2. I'm speechless after race number 1. It was amazing to see that finish by the top 2 drivers, but not even that. The whole field was quite great. Like, I put in before the race, Bernie, that I was going to see a load of crashes. It was going to be mayhem, but it was great driving by everyone today.
Yeah, it certainly was, and oh my goodness, I just don't know. There's been so many incidents out there tonight, and while we're waiting, I guess we could go back and see if we can find some. I don't think we're going to have to look that hard. And we had one here in lap 8, Thomas McMillan. Let's go back and see what's happened to Thomas. And at the time he was running top 10, I think it was. We also, oh yeah, he just went off a little bit, nothing major. We also had one of the Pagnian cars smoking it up, didn't we, in the infield? I'm not sure who that was.
Yeah, not quite sure who that one was, and in the dying laps for rates there, but he smoked that one up for sure.
Yeah, so we're just watching now Thomas coming into turn 2. I've got here that he's had a few off tracks, but I don't think it's anything serious. I think he's just running it into the gravel, and of course that triggers the telemetry to say that there's been an off track on the circuit. If you're wondering why we look at off tracks, folks, that's the only way we can find incidents. We look at the events, we look for off tracks, and if there's repeated off tracks, it generally means there's been an incident, and that's how we find them.
That's right, and Bernie, just to let you know, drivers are now getting back out on track for race number 2, as we're getting excited, and it's going to come down for the wire for this one.
Yeah, it certainly is, and while we're loading this up, folks, let's see, I want to get that going. We're going to jump over while we're loading the server and check out Nick Hausler in the office doing what he does best, and that is doing a hot lap around Sonoma. Once I can work out how to make this screen work. There we go, that looks better, folks. Alright, enjoy this while we get the next server loaded up.
The 015 Triple S Pagnian car for a quick lap. Okay, as we come into turn 1 here, you can look for the discoloration on the road there. You're down to 4th gear, up the hill on that curb on the left where it peaks out, you drop down to 2nd. You've got to be very careful that you don't run out too wide down here. On the gas down here, up to 4th, then down to 3rd. I don't like to take too much of these inside curbs because it can unsettle the car and I just don't have the skill for it. Down this hill into 2nd gear. Again, it's an inside curb you can miss and run right out wide over the outside curb. Plenty of runoff and a quick blast down here into 2nd. Try to keep it fairly tight into this corner as you head in now to the S's along the back. You need to cut across this cutout here, then you've got a lift coming into this left-hander. You want to take a bit of curb to straight line it as much as you can. Then you're pretty much flat through this section, flat through this left, which is a great piece of road. A bit on the brakes and a lift. You might go down to 4th in a hot lap and down to this short chute down to turn 11, which is a heavy braking, good overtaking opportunity. 2nd gear, try to keep it tight, run it out nice and smooth to the exit as you come around the final turn 12, keeping it flat to the boards, and there's a reasonable lap around Sonoma for you. Hopefully people will be doing in the mid-high 11s tonight. We'll see you on track.
So folks, that was a lap around Sonoma with Nick Hausler. We'll cancel that so we don't get any sound coming through. But I hope you enjoyed that. We're loading the server now for race 2 and we will be back racing very shortly. But of course, Bailey, before we get into racing, the guys get to do their qualifying.
Yeah, another 10 minutes of qualifying will happen, Bernie, and this time it will be again to set the field, and we'll see who can put the quickest lap down this time. See what they can do.
Yeah, definitely, and we've got in the combox with us at the moment, Dave Oliver. Hey mate, have you caught your breath after race 1?
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. That was hard work. You just don't get a break around here, so...
Yeah, that's what we were saying, that that's the challenge of Sonoma, especially in a V8 supercar. Not only have you got the undulations, there's nowhere for the driver to have a rest.
Yeah, because, you know, the front straight, you pretty much got, the last turn and all that kind of stuff, so you're trying to balance the car through there, and then by the time you get to a semi-straight again, it's pretty much down into the second last corner, so...
Yeah, exactly right. And can you tell the viewers what it was like for you in that race? We did see you earlier on. It looked like you had your hands full a bit. And I think we might have, not sure if you were the one that had the collision with Sean Thompson or not on the inside. Maybe it wasn't you. Tell the viewers.
Yeah, that was me.
That was you, yeah.
Yeah, we had a little bit of contact there. So, yeah, I think he went off the corner before and I got the run. He braked a bit later and did the wider to inner line, and because I was on the inside I had the inner to wider line, and we connected unfortunately, which, you know, he got going, which is, you know, he got going again, but, you know, we'll see what the race control have to say about that. So
yeah, it looks pretty much like a racing incident to us. We had a look at it and there wasn't anything in it as far as we were concerned, but we're going to let you get back in that car very shortly because no doubt you're going to need to qualify. But before you go, can you give the viewers a little bit of an idea of what it's like in a V8 supercar at Sonoma with another 53 drivers trying to make positions on you?
Utterly insane, especially at the start. And yeah, our crew, aka me, made a little setup mistake and ran with higher pressures, truthfully. So pretty much it would have been around that time when I had that contact with Sean that I just plateaued from there. The other guys in front pulled away, so unfortunately that was a bit of a mistake on my behalf and not, you know, checking the tyre pressures. And especially around here, it's with the amount of corners. Yeah, once your pressures get up, it's just pretty much, you know, hold on for dear life and try not to spit it off. Yeah,
as we see one of the cars now spitting it off. It's one of the MFR cars. Generally, Dave, when we see all these cars flying around, it means the end of practice, and qualifying should be starting fairly shortly.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. I'm still loading in myself, so I was just actually went back and looked at the replay on the stream, so I was quickly checking out the stream and saw Nick's hot lap, which is a cool little addition. So yeah, pretty much it's going to be, like, I know for the last qualifying it was it was hard to get a lap in. I was at the front of the pits, and even then I got a little bit caught up, and by the time there was already like 20 cars in front, so it was very much like the real supercars, with everybody slowing down to try and get space and stuff, and where you still had a few guys like overtaking you when you're going slow, which wasn't that crash hot, especially when we decide to go side by side across the start line on the start of our lap. So it's yeah, you really got to pick your gaps and hope that everybody else plays ball.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, you just let us know when your server's up, and we'll let you get out there on the track. But while it's loading, we're expecting the big one tonight, and it didn't come in race 1. I was very impressed with the drivers. We had a few incidents, but no massive incidents like we've seen in the past. Hopefully, it's going to be the same in race 2.
Yeah, I was surprised there wasn't a big accident or anything like that. So it was hang on a sec, sorry. Yeah, so I know even myself, it's just like trying to jostle for position and get into your line and stuff. Everyone's kind of giving each other little bumps and all that kind of stuff. So it could go either way, especially around here. So hopefully it's all nice and everybody gets into a groove. So, but you just never know. It could be a ticking time bomb waiting to happen.
Yeah, now that we've mentioned it, it's probably definitely going to happen as we see the 55 into the wall, followed by the GTI, and of course practice is over if they're pranging like that. Anyway, we should let you go, but before we do, give a shout out to all your sponsors, Dave.
Yeah, no worries. Firstly, to our team, Synergy Sim Racing. Yeah, so we've got a lot of the guys there, and I keep on thinking I'm not very good at this, am I? Good little tongue twister. So, but yeah, thanks for all our sponsors. They know who they are, and yeah, I need to get a list. I'm bad at this.
Yeah, give us a list before you come in, and then I can correct you if you get it wrong.
Yeah, give me a gib slap, and every time I get one wrong.
Yeah, no worries. Anyway, best of luck for race 2. You better get out there and get some laps in, because that's what all your competitors have been doing.
Yeah, I know, I'm just too busy yakking, so I think there's only about 25 seconds left in this, so I better go do a big skid.
Yeah, no worries. See you, Dave.
See you guys.
So, Bailey, that was Dave Oliver giving us a bit of an insight of what it's like to race around here with 53 other V8 supercars.
Yeah, 53 other V8 supercars. We're in race number 1. Currently there's 50 cars, so 4 cars will be unable to make it into race number 2 due to excessive damage, we'll say, Bernie. But 50 cars is still a huge amount, and the big one going to happen in this race.
Yeah, well, who knows? And we could see now, what have we got? 9 minutes 56 seconds of qualifying. The race is on. If you can get out in front of the field here, you might have a chance of putting in a decent lap. Otherwise, well, it's like finding a gap at a Britney Spears concert.
You're right there. Sorry, Eddie Myers was first at the pit bay this time. A single file out for qualifying now. But Bernie, what do we want to see this race? Who are we expecting to win this one? Without qualifying happening?
Quite honestly, if you're going to have any chance of winning this race tonight, you have to be in the first 3 rows of the grid. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen for you. So whoever gets in the top 6, one of those will be the winner. That's as close as I can call it at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's really anyone's, because lap times were very close at the time. The last race, like, they dropped together, so they started off in the 111s for the top half of the race and the 112s, and then they they gradually slowed down into the 113s for the top half of the race until the last couple of laps when they just floored it. Bernie. In all honesty, I wouldn't be surprised to put it through any of the ERT cars, the PSS cars, like PF cars. They've still got all speed in there. It's anyone's game.
Certainly is. Now, if we look at where those drivers are, Brady Mayers, he got out first, so he's on his hot lap now, and he's got a nice clear track now. We know Forzan, we know Marlon, we know Ian, they've got the pace, but the thing is, if they can't put together a good qualifying session here and they start mid-pack, they don't have a hope in hell of taking out race 2.
You're not in 60Ks, you definitely don't have enough time to get through half a pack of cars when they're going sideways, left, right and centre in front of you, and you haven't got that much room to squeeze through, not like on a NASCAR field where you take every gap you get.
Yeah, we can see Brady Mayers now. He's coming around to complete his first qualifying lap. Looks like a clean one, 1:02. You can see it ticking down in the left-hand side of your screen, folks. What's he going to do here? 1:08, 1:09. It's going to be probably in the 1:12s. 1:12.557.
Michael Hammond goes, but Brian Borg even goes quicker.
Yeah, so Brian Borg goes quicker, as you said, and he's sitting in P3 at the moment because Marlon McMullen, he snatched it with a 1:11.742. Now that's the sort of thing you need to do, isn't it, to get onto pole?
That is right, Bernie. You definitely need to do those sort of lap times, and on top of that, you know, 11.803 from Ian Ford.
Yeah, so looking at your top 10 at the moment, folks, Marlon McMullen, provisional pole. Ian Ford moves up into second. Jason Hyde third. Brian Borg fourth. Duran Nikora, fantastic start from him in fifth. Michael Hammond sixth. Seventh, Brady Mayers. Michael Talenjak eighth. Dave Oliver, we're just speaking to him, sitting in ninth. Gary Dawkins in 10th. And who are we missing in that top 10 at the moment, Bailey?
We're missing Forzan on Navi at the moment. Not quite sure where he is. I'm just going to try to jump onto him and see where he is. Yeah, he's not in the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at our telemetry. He's not even in the top 20 at the moment. And I'm just seeing where he is. Yeah, there he is, 35th position. So a heck of a lot of work to do. He's right down there in the middle of the pack, searching at the moment for some clean track to try to dig himself out of this hole he may be in.
Yeah, he's on his flying lap right now. I think he got out of lane a bit later than other people, to tell you the truth, Bernie, as he comes flying into the final corner now. See what type of lap time he has to do.
Now this is absolutely critical, isn't it? 5 minutes to go. He's going to want a clean track now, or a clear track. He's got it, and we'll see what sort of a time he can do. Of course, he wants to get into the 1:11s to get into the first two rows of the grid here.
Yeah, unfortunately, that lap time did not during to get a 0x, or a 1x for off track there. So he'll have to do it all again, another minute, 12, 13 seconds, and see what type of lap time he can do this time.
Yeah, and this is when it becomes a real psychological game for these drivers, isn't it? If you basically get a off track, you've got to do it again, and that gets in your head, and you know, it can become a real struggle.
Yeah, it definitely can become a struggle with the sorry, I just saw damage on his car. Is that right, Bernie?
No, his car's looking fine. He's coming up behind one of his teammates who's not going to get out of his way here. So I guess there he goes, he's backing off now. And of course, for the viewers just joining us, your commentary team tonight, Bernie Weemers, myself, and we're joined with Bailey Hall. And Bailey's been away for a while, but I tell you what, mate, it's great to have you back here.
Yeah, it's great to be back again, Bernie. Love calling the AOSC races with all the amazing drivers. So it's better. It's like being at a real racetrack behind a screen.
certainly is, and I tell you what, Forza El Nabi, he's in trouble. He's just tried another hot lap. He got balked onto the grass. He's got straight out of that car. He's coming straight out of the pits now. 3 minutes 38. He'll probably get 1, maybe 2 hot laps back in, but he's in 37th position, searching for some clear track.
Yeah, he'll probably only get 1 more lap, to tell you the truth. I mean, with the amount of traffic that's out there at the moment, to get a hot lap is quite hard, and you got to think you got the blue flags out there on your out lap with all the cars that have already been out there, and you've got to pretty much let them through, give them a hot lap. You don't want to get in their way. You got to play fair out there.
Oh, you certainly do, and we can see it with some of them getting out of the way. It's just a matter of where you catch them. But Ethan Warren at the moment, he's put in a good lap, and he moves into 3rd. Keep an eye tonight on Jason Bentz though. He's in 4th position, so I reckon he'll be one to watch here. 5th, Jason Hyde. Got Brian Borg. 6th, Duran Nakora, another one to keep an eye on. And 7th, Riley Blythe. 8th, 9th, Michael Talenjak. 10th is Michael Hammond. So yeah, one of the viewers was saying qualifying with the whole pack must be daunting. Well, I'd say that's a bit of an understatement. We might actually jump on board with Forza and do a lap with him as he's trying to qualify his car. Well, he's not actually out there. Where is he? Here he is. We'll jump in just so you can see how busy these guys are trying to find some sort of space on a track with 50 other supercars.
Yeah, I reckon he just up the curve a little bit then. Yeah, he has. He's going to go diving straight back down, I reckon. See if he can get another lap in, because see what he does now if he comes straight back out. Because he's just hit the curve and he'll get that 1x, which will cancel his lap. Yeah, well,
looks like he's... No, there he goes. I think he's coming out. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, he's coming out now. 1 minute 35. He's basically going to go out now, hoping, I guess, that all these guys are going to finish their hot laps, bring him in the pits, and he'll have the track all to himself. But I tell you what, that's probably the same as hoping it's going to snow in Christmas time in Australia.
Well, where I live, for sure, to tell you the truth, Bernie, we haven't had snow in so many years here. And yeah, I don't think he'll get much room. I think everyone would stay out there, get as much track time as possible coming into the race. But he's got a bit of room at the moment, but this is only his warm-up lap.
Yeah, he'll get that warm-up lap. We'll keep an eye on him, because I guess this is one of the stories of qualifying. It'll be interesting to see what he can do. One of the viewers asked if we have one of the RRTV boys out on track tonight. Well, no, we don't. Daniel Leet, who's normally in the comm box, he's decided to go and kick his heels up and hit the town and have a bit of a party, I think. But he'll be back, of course, tomorrow night. But I tell you what, Bailey, I wouldn't want to be out on the track tonight. It'd just be too scary.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, I was almost thinking of jumping out there this week. Got offered a ride, but I thought I'd stay safe up here in the comm box and not risk me life out near that track with 50 other cars out there.
Yeah, exactly right. We can see now we're riding with Forza El Nabi, 7 seconds. He should get this lap in. He's going to want a clean lap and no X's, because if he doesn't, he's going to be in deep trouble.
He sure will be, Bernie, if he comes into the hook right-hander here. This is like a really deft corner. This can set you up pretty much for the back straight.
He's got Card getting out of his way, dives in on the hairpin. That car gets out of his way. So far, so good. He's got a nice clean track ahead of him as he's going through the S's here. 2 wheels up. Watch out for 1X. Riding the ripple strips. Watch for them, because you'll get loose. And he's coming down now into the final part of this circuit, Bailey.
Yeah, coming into the final hairpin of the track. What's he going to do? He flicks up a bit of dust, takes out the cones from the entry, or locks up a little bit, it looks like there. We got cars doing burnouts in pit lane as he comes in to cross the line.
Yeah, that exit's going to cost him. He's 111, 112, 494. So that takes him up to 13th position, which sounds pretty bad, but it's got to be a hell of a lot better than 41st.
Oh, it's a lot better up there. You haven't got as far to go, but his 13th position, as you said, Bernie, earlier, the top 3 rows is where you've got to be to make it to the end. And 13th, will it cut the pace?
Well, there's one way to find out. It really depends on what happens on the first lap. But let's have a look at our grid, folks. Let's see if we can get through this before the race starts. 50 cars here at Sonoma for race 2. Marlon McMullen, he has taken pole position for race 2, followed by Ian Ford in second. Now, I'm tipping Ian for the win here tonight. Ethan Warren, third. Thomas McMillan will start out of 4th. Jason Bentz, he's going to start out of 5th. Out of 6th, we have Jason Hyde. Starting out of 7th tonight is Brian Borg, followed by Duran Nikora in 8th. Brady Mayers, he'll start out of 9th. 10th, Michael Hammond. 11th, Riley Blythe. And Michael Talenjak. That rounds out your top 12.
As we watched at the end of qualifying, 13th, Fortin Al Nabi, 14th, Sean Thompson, 15th, Dave Oliver, 16th, David Miller, and rounding out 17 is Gene Fiddles. 18th will be Daniel Trim, better than his qualifying of race number 1. 19th, Daniel Williams. 20th, Paul Preston, the mover. 21st, Gary Dawkins. 22nd, Henry King. 23rd, Mitchell Balls. And rounding out top 24, Stephen Varga, Redback.
Out of 25th tonight is Tony Gaffer, followed by Brett Loxton in 26th. Wayne Pengilly, he qualifies in 27th. Mitchell Campbell, 28th. Braden Bateman, he'll start out of 30th tonight, or 29th, with Brenton O'Brien in 30th. Out of 31st is Jaden Borg, followed by Daryl Hockey in 32nd. 33rd, Paul Tajavara. 34th, Shannon Mason. Out of 35th tonight is Jacob Knight, and rounding out your field of 36 so far is Kyle Stokes. So
we're about to send it green, Bernie, so I think we'll cut the grid at that point and get ready to rumble.
Certainly will, and we've taken a very, very wide view of the start here, folks, so you can get a little bit of an idea of how crazy this race is. You can see the field just lined up now. We're waiting for the starters' orders to go racing, but look at them. They're right down the front straight towards the hairpin here, Bailey.
Yeah, I cannot wait. PSS's McMullen and Ian Ford will set the front row here for race number 2 of the Pagnian Australian Online Supercar Championship.
Yeah, we're under starters' orders now. The lights will go red. You'll hear the revs starting to rise on green. They'll let the clutch out, and they're going to want to have a good start here, and away we go. Mullen, good start. Ian Ford already on the inside. He's got an awesome start here. 2 wide into turn 2. Coming up to turn 3 for the first time. Marlon keeps it out. Bit of an incident in the back. Cars spinning, but at the moment we have Ethan Warren with a good start, but I don't know what's happened further back here as more cars are coming together.
Yeah, Jason Hyde hooked into the inside of the track there in turn number 2. But Ian Ford looks like he's going to do it on the outside. A 2x2 for the whole lap almost so far. Mullen's going to have the inside here, but Ian Ford, if he can stick it around the outside, is going to have the run down the back straight, which he is. That looks like Ian Ford could get the move. No, Mullen's going to stay in front. Now they're doing 3 wide down further to back in the field, Bernie.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Ian got past Marlon last race. Now Marlon is not going to want that to happen this time through, but coming through for the first time, we've got McMullen leading Ian Ford. Ethan Warren, good start from him in 3rd. His teammate Thomas McMillan sitting right behind him. So we've got 2 All-Star Motorsports cars starting to put the pressure on ERT, and of course you have Performance Sim Sports leading this race.
Fortin Al Nabi did not start the race, Bernie, who was supposed to start out as 12.
It's been an absolute disaster for him this time through, hasn't it? And after the first race, he did so well to win that, but it's all gone sour here.
Yeah, unfortunately it does go all south, but McMullen's got himself a couple car lengths now, and Ethan Warren is all over the back of Ian Ford. He's looking to push him down the back straight. As Ian Ford is looking bamboozled at the moment, McMullen's put his eyes forward and he's just charging forward at the moment, setting the quickest lap.
Yeah, so the cars that did quite a just trying to see who has not made the start. Well, we can see Timothy Clement. He's brought that car in, and that car is wrecked. So he has not even got through one lap. I'd say that's from the first lap incident, which we'll go back and have a look at in a moment. So the cars that did not make the grid tonight is Forzan El Nabi, Paul Preston, Luke Page, Jacob Knight 2, and Jason Bentz. Is Jason out there? No, he's not.
Jason Bentz has come back into pit lane and got out of that car furious after the incident on lap number 1.
Yeah, so that's a shame. He was looking really strong, wasn't he? We'll jump back and see if we can find this incident and just see what has actually unfolded here for Jason.
You're not quite sure. The lap cars are coming up on the 029 car. At the moment of Paul Preston coming into the right-hander. Ethan Warren had a look up the inside then of Ian Ford, but stepped back. Also, Thomas McMillan now in 4th position. Brian Borg in 5th position. He's up 2 positions. 6th, Jason Hyde. 7th, Michael Hammond. 8th, Dave Oliver. Up 10 positions at the moment is the All-Star Daniel Williams, and rounding out your top 10 is Duran Nikora.
Yeah, we're having a look at this replay while you're calling that, Bailey, and Jason, well, he got into, well, he didn't get into, he had contact with one of the FPV Falcons, put him back on the track, spun him in front of the traffic, and he went from 5th all the way back to 50th position before he managed to get that car going again.
That's very unfortunate for Jason Bentz, but talking about movers, Connor McCluskey Young up 20 positions in race number 1 is already up 17 in race number 2.
That's a fantastic drive there, isn't it? And of course we've got some fans out there who like Gene Fittis. One of them was saying Gene Fittis for the win for PRA, and here he is, folks, and he's currently in 17th position.
Yeah, started in 17th and is still in 17th position. He's got a long way home now to make it to the front, which the leaders are flying at the moment.
Certainly are, and I'll tell you what, we're looking back from Mitchell Bales here in 15th, and he's got his teammate Wayne Pengilly right behind him. So, but around here probably wouldn't have any time to relax. But here we go, folks. Ethan Warren, Thomas McMillan, both All-Star Motorsports guys, having a fantastic run here tonight. They're in 3rd, 4th. Ian Ford is in 2nd. Marlon McMullen at the moment has his measure, but it doesn't take much for Ian to pounce, does it?
Doesn't take long for Ian to pounce at all. He is flying at the moment. He's trying to get all the way up the back of Marlon. Gets right on his bumper at that moment then, and he's going to give it a crack for sure this lap.
He's having a look. He's got a fantastic run. Expect him to throw it up the inside here. He does. Is he going to pull this move off? And he does make that move at the hairpin.
Yeah, it looked like Marlon got a bit scared of him in his mirror then, looked back in the mirror and just backed off a little bit and decided he's not going to take the chance for the crash and just hang on to 2nd position for now. But he's got to worry about Ethan Warren now. He's flying some quick lap times out there also, and along with Thomas McMillan up the back of Ethan.
Yeah, the All-Star boys are having an awesome race, aren't they? We saw Ethan strong in race 1, but now he's got his teammate that's come to the party in Thomas McMillan, and both of these guys are looking very racy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they even jump on the podium together if Marlon McMullen needs to keep up the pace he's got when he was in the lead, because these boys are coming quick. But Ian Ford is making ground, gaining ground pretty quickly. He's off and away once again.
Yeah, he certainly is, and Marlon's keeping up with him. He's taken Ethan with him. We're riding with Thomas McMillan out of 4th at the moment. You can just see how hard he's working his wheel as they go up the backside, up the back of Sonoma.
Yeah, the 313 car, all Motorsports. Daniel Williams coming to pit lane that lap, and he had quite a fair bit of damage along with the number 12 car of Duran Nikora, the GTI entry.
Yes, I'm just having a look here. Daniel Williams, let's see if we can find out what's happened to him here. So we're back having a look at this replay of Daniel Williams in the unmetered service entry, and we'll just see where he's come unstuck. Oh, big accident. The cars in front of him spun, and unfortunately he had absolutely nowhere to go, and he basically got cleaned up. Well, he cleaned them up as we had cars spinning everywhere.
Very unfortunate, as Daniel Trim now moves into 9th position. He's hard charging through it. He's on the hunt for PFR, Sean Thompson and Michael Hammond, who's about 10 seconds up the road, hanging in behind Jason Hyde and Brian Borg, having a nice battle at the moment. Hyde's all over the back of Borgie, see what he can do to hold on to that Sadie's car.
And meanwhile, Gene Fittis, he's up to 11th position now, and look at the cars in front of him, all around him. We've got cars diving left, right and centre, as we can see now. Braden Bateman defending from, trying to get, is that Mitchell Campbell, with the whole front end missing, and he's still passing cars.
Yeah, missing a fair bit of that car, Mitchell Campbell, but he's hard charging through the field now, up to what seems to be 15th position for him.
Just having a look here, there's one of the viewers here is team cheering for Duran Nicora, but I can't see him in the top 20 at the moment.
Yeah, Duran Nicora did hit at the moment. He's now all the way back in 33rd position. He's about 42 seconds down. He's coming into the final turn right now with Daniel Williams. They both came out of the pit lane together, and they'll be trying to push back up the field and gain as much time as possible. They were both in the top 10 3 laps ago, Bernie.
Yeah, and Brett Loxton, we can see him off the track and just letting everyone through. He's down in 40th position, and looks like his race is done.
Unfortunate for him, that he's shown some speed over the last couple laps for sure. As I'm looking at Tony Gaffer at the moment, he's looking pretty strong also, with Matt Leportaven right behind him, both in the next level vehicles.
And we just jumped up front for a moment, folks, because Ethan Warren is starting to put the blowtorch on the back of Marlon McMullen as he closes right up.
That looked like he was going to take the back end of that car and take it for a ride then, Bernie, because geez, that was close.
Yeah, he's all over the back now, isn't he? And he's really letting Marlon know that he wants to get through. He hasn't started the Morse code yet, but I don't think it's too far away.
Yeah, not even that. Those two battling is allowing Thomas McMillan to gain some ground, and they're both going to try to attack Marlon at the same time, I'm quite sure, and pressure him into losing a couple of positions.
Yeah, well, I reckon if one gets through, the other one's going to capitalise as well, as you just said. It's riding on the roof cam with Ethan Warren now, and there's not many places to make this move though, is there?
Yeah, there's only a couple turns on this track that you can actually have a good crack at taking the pass. Looks like turn 2, maybe turn 12, and maybe a couple turns, maybe 5 and 6 is about all you can do to take a pass, unless you've got the speed during a straight.
As they tick off one more lap here, so we're pretty much at the halfway point, would you believe it, Bailey? 9 laps to go.
9 laps to go already, Bernie. It has been a hell of a race so far. We're 13 minutes into what has been a hectic race 1 and now a hectic race 2.
Oh, it certainly has, and we'll go back further because we can see now Duran Nicora. For anyone cheering him on, he is now, well, he's in 32nd. I thought it was up to 19th and I was getting excited for him, but no, still 32nd with quite a lot of work to do.
Yeah, got to point out a couple drivers right now. Jamie McKnight in 14th position for PSS is up 31 positions, but 15th in up 32 positions is Daniel Stevens, Bernie.
Okay, I'm trying to find them here. I've got 15th Braden Bateman.
Sorry, my telemetry has just changed. I do, sorry, 23rd and 24th.
Yeah, we can see Daniel Stevens there getting it up on two wheels, and now he's got Kyle Stokes on the inside of him making the move, and there's contact, boy.
Here we go. That looked to be a bit of a hectic one back there, and they're still trying to get themselves back in order to keep racing here.
Yeah, we can see there's a car off on the inside here out of the hairpin. That's a 015 just getting out of their way. And meanwhile, up front, the battle continues. Marlon McMullen, Ethan Warren, and Thomas McMillan continue. But Brian Borg is going to say his car has a lot of damage on it, and he's got Jason Hyde. You'd have to forgive me, but the way these cars look, it looks like they've been in a demolition derby.
I was watching earlier on YouTube, Bernie, a race of 100 laps with over 100 cars around it, and that was a demolition derby, and that's what this looks like at the moment. Brian Borg's car looks like it's being hit from every angle.
Yeah, exactly right. One of the viewers have asked, is this a official race or a league? It's actually a league run from the Australian Online Supercar Championship. If you're a member of iRacing, you can contact Nick Hausler, and he's of course the gentleman that puts this fantastic series together.
Yeah, you got to give props to Nick Hausler, the amount of effort he puts into running this championship for the second season now, Bernie, under the name AOSC.
Yes, we're riding on the nose cam. Jason Hyde here. He's having a look. Who's he battling with? Michael Hammond, and he actually had a bit of an overlap, but then he tucked back in, which was probably smart, because I don't think I've seen anyone go too wide across the top of Sonoma as he's into the wall.
That's a huge one there. That was head on into the wall there, unfortunately.
Yeah, and we're having a look from the outside. Of course, we were in the nose cam that smacked that wall, so hopefully, folks, you didn't dive for the behind the couch at that point. Meanwhile, up front, folks, let's have a look at your top 10. So Ian Ford has run off with this race. 2.1 seconds is the lead. Back to Marlon McMullen in second. Ethan Warren third. Fourth, Thomas William. Brian Borg, he's sitting in fifth with Michael Hammond sixth. Tony Gaffer is up to eighth. Brenton O'Brien, fantastic drive by him in ninth position. I think maybe he's in the pits because he's dropping down through the field at the moment.
Yeah, eighth currently Daniel Truman, ninth Wayne Pengoli, 10th. Gene Fitties, guys, he's pushing up the field at the moment, 10th, 24 seconds down.
Yeah, he's really flying, isn't he? Now he's on the back of Wayne Pengilly. Both these cars extremely battle damaged, which is what you'd expect on a race around here at Sonoma. We've got Mitchell Bales now coming under pressure from Michael Talenjak. Tucks back in. Now we've got Gary Dawkins. We've got a car off on the outside of the circuit. Not sure who that is. And now Braden Bateman's also having a crack at Gary Dawkins. This is all down in 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th.
Yeah, these guys have got a 5-car battle happening at the moment. Eve Oliver is ending that battle at the moment. He's in 15th position, but Braden Bateman up 15 positions in 14th at the moment. It's all over the back of Gary Dawkins.
Yeah, and Dave Oliver at the moment, as we can see further here now on the inside. Who's that throwing it up? That's Michael Talenjak on the inside, and Mitchell Bales makes him vulnerable now to Gary Dawkins here, and we'll see if Gary pounces.
Very hard to do a pounce up into turn number 2, as they're going to probably go single file here. It looks like they will straighten themselves out and go. Looks like most of the passing is happening on the back half of the track, Bernie.
Yeah, well, it's all single file through here, isn't it? Now when they come down, as we see, who was that? Braden Bateman off into the grass. He pulls it in. Dave Oliver. Now we'll see what Gary does as they come down into this final corner. Look at that. Braden Bateman throws it on the... No, that's Dave Oliver throwing it on the inside of Braden Bateman. Dave Oliver makes the move. He moves up to 15th position.
Very weird when you see the same two cars that look so alike at the moment with the colour scheme.
Yeah, and we were speaking to Dave earlier, weren't we? He sounded a little bit nervous, but I think he's doing pretty well out there at the moment. Now Gary Dawkins is trying to pass Mitchell Bales and then Michael Talenjak. But let's jump up to the front here, folks, to see what's going on. We've got Ian Ford now leading as he was. Marlon McMullen has the measure of Ethan Warren, and they're dropped off Thomas McMillan.
Only 3.5 laps to go, Bernie now for Ian Ford. Marlon McMullen is still pushing the pressure down on the car as he's trying to get back up to Ian Ford, but it's still a long way home.
Oh, there's no way he's going to catch Ian now. Ian's gone. And looking at the lap times at the moment, the fastest runner out there is, well, Marlon McMullen has the fastest lap time of a 1:12.195, and then Ian is a 1:12.273. But Ian's last lap a 1:13.058 compared to Marlon's 1:13.304.
And it's about 1/10 up. He's 1/10 down is Ian Ford's lap times at the moment. So he's definitely making a gaining ground at the moment as the lap times are going into the 13, 14, 15 seconds now, Bernie.
Yeah, and check out Brian Borg's car. You would not believe it. He's still battling for position. He has no front on the car. He's got no boot on the car. I don't know how that thing is even steering in a straight line at the moment.
Yeah, it's quite amazing that the car's can put up so much damage. And we got a car off in the background. It looks like it's a Pagnion car. Looks to be a lap car. Not quite exactly sure who that one is, Bernie. I'll go back and find that one out.
Okay, fantastic. Meanwhile, at the moment, folks, 32 cars are still on the lead lap as we see what is left of Brian Borg's car, and he's not given up. He wants 5th position with that car, but I guess one advantage here, Bailey, is that car's going to be a little bit lighter.
Yeah, it would be a lot lighter, to the truth, Bernie, than another car that's fully got all its panels on there at the moment.
I thought you were going to say fully sick for a moment.
It's fully sick VL Turbo. Looked like it was Brett Loxton that locked it up. Locked it up coming out of the right-hander.
Okay, yeah, I've got him here on the telemetry. Looks like Daryl Hockey's had a bit of an off as well. And we'll jump back and see if we can see what's happened to Brett here. He's, of course, in the Kimmy's Rural Fencing team, and it's great to see him out here with the big evil eyes on the front of that vehicle. And we'll just see if we can work out where exactly he's come unstuck. So you were saying it was up the back of the circuit, was it?
Yeah, the sharp right-hander.
Okay, he's just coming up to that now on the replay, then we'll jump straight back. Oh yeah, oh, hang on to it. Yeah, he actually got balked there by the Falcon that was parked on the outside from that replay anyway. But we're down to the last lap now, folks, and I thought I fixed that bug. Obviously I haven't. But we can see now Ian Ford is going to take this win unless something bad goes down for him. Marlon McMullen second, Ethan Warren, he's still putting the pressure on, but I don't think it's going to get him as Ethan just lets it all hang out there, and coming into his second last passing opportunity here. The next one, Bailey, is going to be at the hairpin.
Yeah, Ethan Warren is still going to put the pressure down all the way up to the final straight, and it could come down to what it was between Forzen and Ian in race number 1, but I think Marlon's got this one a bit too much room on Ethan.
Yeah, I think you're right. We can see now Ian coming in to the final hairpin here to take race 2 of round 6 here at Sonoma. Fantastic effort, and he comes across the line now to take the checkered flag. Well done to Evolution Racing Team. Second goes to Marlon McMullen. Third, Ethan Warren. and Marlon does a big slide. Thomas McMillan 4th. 5th is Michael Hammond. He's held out the Dodgem car wreck of Brian Borg, who comes home in 6th. 7th, Sean Thompson. 8th, there's a drag race here. Danny Trim now coming through in front of Gene Fiddes, who's up to 9th. And then we'll have Wayne Pengilly rounding out our top 10.
At 11th will be Braden Bateman. 12th, Dave Oliver. Cars are still crossing the line. It's coming quite hard to keep up with them. 12th, 13th, Gary Dawkins. 14th, Wayne Pengilly. 15th, Michael Talenchich. 16th, Riley Blythe. 17th, Jaden Borg. 18th, Matt LaPortaven. 19th, Brent O'Brien. And 20th, Tony Gaffer.
See Duran Nakora now coming across the line in 24th position, so he did gain 6 positions after he had to go to the pits. Paul Tajavara now comes home in 27th. Looking further down, we've got Steve Varga. What's going on with Steve? Is he out of fuel? No, he's limping this car. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's just trying to get it home. Is he going to get it? He's out of petrol. He's out of fuel. I think he's out of fuel.
Looks like he definitely is out of fuel there, but he will make it over the line, Bernie.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he almost has to push that car, but the Redback Racing car limps across the line out of fuel, comes home in 30th position.
No burnouts for him tonight.
No burnouts at all. But see, Duran Nakora there is letting his car hang loose, as they all do. It's becoming a bit of a tradition, isn't it, that after a race these boys just absolutely go mental.
It's like they've got unlimited tyre sets, Bernie. They let it go that much.
Yeah, it's as if they don't have to pay for all the damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at what these clowns get up to when they're not racing, folks. They've decided they're going to go and have a drag race. Who's it going to be? Ford versus Holden. What's your bet on Sean Thompson taking it out against Dave Oliver?
Oh, here we go. Who's that 017 car of Brian Borg versus Dave Oliver first?
Yep, so we can see Borgie now getting the run. It looks like Brian Borg's going to take the drag, or is he? Dave Oliver's coming back at him, and
Borgie's got it.
The cameraman, Borgie, took it out.
Alright, I'm trying to look back to see who was the next run.
We've got 3 in here. We've got Sean Thompson. He's dragging at the moment. I'm not sure Pagnian car takes them and wins that. So there you go, folks. You had a bit of drag racing as well. So I hope you've enjoyed your RRTV coverage.
Oh. Sorry, Bernie, but they've just gone straight into head-on into a wall.
Yeah, they do that. They're crazy boys. But let's go through the final race results here, folks, for race 2. Let's see who the biggest mover is, who the biggest shaker is, and then we get to the serious business, driver of the night. I think we should pick one from each race myself. We'll just really confuse the race directors. But yeah, Ian Ford takes the win tonight from Marlon McMullen. Second was Marlon McMullen. Third, Ethan Warren. Fourth, Thomas McMillan. Michael Hammond comes home in 5th, followed by Brian Borg in 6th. Sean Thomas, he's up 7 positions to come home in 7th. Daniel Trim up 10 positions to finish in 8th. Gene Fiddes comes home in 9th, with Wayne Pengilly up 17 positions in 10th. In 11th, Michael Talenjak, and then Mitchell Bales rounds out your top 12.
Up 8 positions today. Gary Dawkins comes home in 13th. Dave Oliver in 14th. Braden Bateman up 14 positions, come home in 15th. Down 5 positions tonight. Riley Blythe comes home in 16th. Jaden Ball comes home in 17th. Up 23 positions tonight. 18th, coming home in 18th is Matt Laporte-Veden. 19th is Brenton O'Brien. 20th, Tony Gaffer. 21st, Simon Mesimo up 23. Also was the 027 car of Jamie McKnight coming home in 22nd. 23rd would be Brady Myers, and rounding out top 24 will be Shannon Mason.
So at the moment we've got equal for the biggest mover. That's Matt Laporte-Veden and Jamie McKnight. 23 positions. Memorise that, folks, as we go through the next round of drivers. 25th, Duran Nakora, down 17 positions. Darren Lord, 26th. Sean Chappell comes home in 27th, with Paul Tajavara finishing 28th. David Miller, he comes home in 29th. Henry King, we didn't see any of Henry tonight, in 30th. Stephen Varga limped across the line to finish in 31st. Connor McCluskey Young, 32nd. 33rd was Colin Bruns, followed by Brett Loxton in 34th. Daniel Stevens, he comes home in 35th. Rounding out your 36 is Ian Ford 2.
37th tonight was Paul Preston, and 38th was Darryl Hockey. 39th, Matt Torkins. And rounding at your 40 was Daniel Williams. 41st was Timothy Kleeman. 42nd, Nick Hausler. And it looks like these will be your... Sorry. 43rd was Jason Hyde, who did not finish, along with Kyle Stokes, Daniel Vassell, Jacob Knight, Mitchell Campbell, Luke Page, Jason Benz, and not starting for Zen El Nabi.
Yeah, so the biggest movers, that was they're still doing drag races. That was a draw between Jamie McKnight, Paul Lepidovian, I got that wrong. Biggest shaker looks like it was Jason Hyde tonight, Bailey.
And Jason Hyde did a wonderful job tonight, losing that many positions, and unfortunately not being able to finish in the race.
Yeah, and meanwhile the drag racing is continuing between David Oliver, Brian Borg. He's doing the Dukes of Hazzard, letting it all hang out. And I tell you what, that V8 supercar is just not going to die, even though he's really trying to kill it. But anyway, folks, that's getting to the end of our broadcast tonight on RRTV. We'll be ending very shortly. Of course, there's a lot more action here this weekend on our channel tomorrow night at 10 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. And we will be back. We will have Daniel Leet and myself calling the GTE Asia Pacific Championship. Then Sunday night we've got the final round of the Australasian Super Skips here on RRTV, followed by Monday night we finish up the weekend with the Skip Barber Monday Lights. So plenty of action for those joining us on iRacing Live. It will be covered there once again. You can check the guide there on finding when it'll be on at your local time, and of course it'll also be broadcast on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/RRTV live. So Bailey, the serious business tonight, we have to pick drive of the night.
Very, very hard to choose drive of the night tonight, Bernie. A lot of great drivers out there tonight, a lot of great moves, passes and drives tonight.
Yeah, well, there's certainly a lot, wasn't there? It's a real hard one. If we're going to look at consistency, I would say it would have to be Ian Ford in his drive. I think he got second in race 1, first in race 2. So he would be a contender if you're looking at consistency. If we're looking at the biggest movers, then it'd be Jamie McKnight, Paul Lepidovian, and I'm not sure who the biggest, Jason Bentz from race 1.
Yeah, Connor McCluskey Young would probably have got the most positions gained overall, Bernie. But some of the boys definitely got a fair few positions up tonight.
Well, the biggest mover of the two, then I think one of our votes has to go to Connor McCluskey Young for the most positions gained.
I feel, yeah, that one there, and probably most consistent tonight goes to Ian Ford.
Ian Ford. So we'll let Mr. Hausler know that they can get 2 bonus entries in the fantastic prize of the Pagnian Australia Formula 1 GT simulator, valued at $699, so they will get 2 extra votes each from us. So if you win, guys, I want to come over and have a drive of that bad boy.
Me too.
So it looks like we've got yeah, you too. Sorry, mate. So it looks like we've got Borgie here. Did you want to have a chat with him?
I can have a chat to Borgie. G'day Borgie, welcome back to the RRTV commentary box. What a race tonight.
Mate, that was pretty interesting racing. It was pretty good too.
Yeah, it was an awesome race, especially from your perspective. A lot of damage on that car. How'd you go handling it?
I was fine. I think I only had damage at the rear, I think.
Yeah, and dealing with all the cars around you tonight, and especially the starts of the race, how'd you go tuning into making sure you kept that car straight? Yeah,
well, I think it all happened in front of me with Benty getting, I think it was Jason Hyde who ran wide. But yeah, it was pretty good after the first corner. It was just a matter of keeping it on track and not getting any off tracks, really.
Yeah, and coming into this week, what preparation did you have to do to make sure you could keep this car running and finish 6th position on the second race?
Just paint my car pink and yeah, off we go.
Yeah, it definitely looks pretty out there today, Borgie. I'm sure Bernie's got a couple of questions for you. I'm pretty much out of them at the moment.
Yeah, the main one I got for you, Brian, is how the heck did that car keep on going? When we saw it, you were still battling for position. You had no bonnet on it, no boot, but it seemed to still be hooked up and still going forward.
Yeah, I don't know what damage you were seeing, but I didn't have any damage at the front as far as I knew, so it felt pretty hooked up for me. The only damage that I copped was from the rear, I think. Yeah,
well, on the cameras anyway, you didn't have a bonnet on it, or a boot, according to our cameraman, but anyway. Also, mate, well done, congratulations. I think 2 out of 2 on the drag race against Dave Oliver.
Yeah, it was pretty hooked up down the drag strip, and then after that the tyres were pretty gone on the 3rd run.
Yeah, we were watching it here, and I was thinking we should really have drag racing in iRacing, because it looked like a heap of fun, as we were calling that. So, yeah, thanks for entertaining the viewers there and giving us another idea for what iRacing needs to do. Can you imagine actually drag racing if they had the big, those big, what do you call them, super dragsters or whatever?
You know what, Bernie? If it does come, I'm going to give you 100% credit for it.
Awesome, and I will take 100% credit for it. No, I wouldn't be surprised if they're thinking about it. It'd be absolutely awesome. But yeah, well done, Brian. You had a good second race tonight, coming home 6th position, putting it to Michael Hammond for most of the time we were watching you. So yeah, good race. Before you go though, mate, do you want to give a shout out to your sponsors?
Yeah, just first of all, Laser Racing, they continue to back us. They've been a good sponsor from day dot. Also, Sades Electronics, look them up on their website and get a discount through iRacing.
Definitely. So Sades Electronics, if they Google that, they should find it, shouldn't it? I think it's SADES. I think that's how they spell it.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, just look it up there in Melbourne. So yeah, anyone looking for any headphones or anything, give them a call and let them know that you spoke to the boys from Sades.
Yeah, fantastic. And I'm just trying to find them here. I haven't found them yet, but
yeah, it's www.sades.com.au.
Okay, fantastic.
Australia.
Fantastic. So there you go, folks. If you want your electronic gear, go and check out Sades Electronics. Anyway, Brian, what's happening next week? Like Sonoma, we know it's been a sprint round. Do we have an off week next week, a rest week, or are we back into a 150 or a 650?
I'll let you know. I'll just have a look for you. 1 second.
Next week we've got a rest week, Bernie.
A rest week. I'll tell you what, Bailey, we need a rest week after tonight.
I know.
Yeah, it's a rest week, mate. So just saying to Bailey, we really need a rest week after tonight's race. It was frantic out there.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, go ahead. I was just looking for the information. I can't find it.
No worries. I was just going to thank you for coming up, mate, and you can go back now and polish that beautifully presented Sage Electronics car after you find the bonnet and the boot.
Yeah, I was running the pink livery for breast cancer. Just keep in mind, everyone, that well organised donation. If you just want to donate to breast cancer, yeah, always think about that.
Yeah, fantastic. It's a great cause to back, that's for sure, because it's one of those silent killers, isn't it? It affects a lot of women around the world, and hopefully, if enough of us donate, that we will find a cure for it, which would be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Brian, thanks, mate, for popping in. We've got a few more interviewees. It looks like we've got Mr. Oliver down there. We can stir him up about how he lost the drag racing, as well as, here he is, Mr. Oliver. Bad luck on that drag racing, mate. 2 out of 2.
No, we did 3.
Yeah, they didn't see that one.
We didn't see the one that you won. I guess you won that one.
Yeah, Borky bogged it down.
Yeah, no, we only saw the ones you lost.
I had my hand out the window doing the Mighty Car Mod's chopped fingers.
Yeah, we were talking about when we were watching it, wouldn't it be great if iRacing brought drag racing to the service?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, I know that I know someone was looking at doing like a fun night, but yeah, you'd pretty much have to have somebody watching to line up and all that kind of stuff, so it was even and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. It'd be different, but I don't think it would be necessarily high on their list. But I don't know. You never know down the track. You know, hashtag soon.
Yeah. I'd just like to see the dragsters, the funny cars, all that stuff. It'd be awesome. But anyway, let's get back to the serious business, Dave, and that's your race. It looked like you were having a good one in that last race.
Yes and no. I kind of may have caused that big one. So I think I jinxed myself in our last commentary. Yeah. So pretty much had a good start, got through the bit of the mess at the beginning. I think I started 15th, and I think by the end of the first lap I was 7th or 8th. So I had a good start, and I think Hammond may have had a few little issues in the first lap, and after about 2 or 3 laps let him go. And then I think we came up on some of the back markers who I think got caught up in the first lap, so we caught up to them pretty quick, and I came up behind one of the KRF guys about 4 corners in, and he did the right thing and moved across, but just caught me off guard a little bit, and pretty much just kind of drifted over the hill there and onto the dirt, doing my best speedway drift, and then darted back across the track, hit, I think it was actually Luke Page, hit him, which then darted him into Karan, I think is it Karan and Daniel Williams, unfortunately. So yeah, it was a bit of a racing stuff up there. But yeah, just got caught out by the back marker.
Yeah, I think at the start there we saw Jason Bentz, I think it was, in trouble. He got turned around and unfortunately went to the back of the grid from turn 3 and parked the car after that, which pretty much once you get to 50th your race is done, isn't it?
Yeah, I did actually notice that he dropped out, which is not good.
Yeah, but yeah, we saw you out there going for it. It looked great. It looked like a better race for you and looked like a heap of fun. But I've got Bailey Hall here and he's probably got something to ask you.
Well, to tell you the truth, Bernie, I haven't really got much to say. You've covered most of it, but as he normally does, he does a very good job. But Dave, you got any sponsors you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, we've got Boost Juice, Eden, Newlon, Speedway Shop, DDG Customs, and CSW. So
Now-
remembered that one.
I was going to say to Bernie, did you see how he took a note this time?
Yes.
I
Well done.
was looking at pictures.
Yeah. Well, well done tonight, Dave, and I wish you the best of luck in the future, mate.
Yeah, it was decent for such a roller coaster of a track. You know, I think it was to pull off 2 top 20s. I think it was. I think I finished 14th in that race. So yeah, I think 2 top 15s. So fairly happy with that. So I know I'm not really in the championship hunt or anything like that because I've missed quite a few races. So you know, I had a bit of fun with our team and with our alliance team members of Henry King and the ANZ Henry King team. So yeah, it's great just to jump on a Friday night and do a few skids.
Yeah, it certainly is, mate. Well, thanks for popping in. Well done. And 13th, we had you down as finishing. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks because I think next week for the AOSC, we've got a rest week.
Oh, Nick needs a nap, does he?
No, I need a nap.
So again, thank you, for everything that you do, Bernie. You do such a sensational job, and if anybody listening, you know, can help Bernie out and stuff, it's he does such a phenomenal job, and for the amount of nights that he helps out, it's so great to see that the community's getting behind you, Bernie. So, you know, tip of the hat to you, mate. You do such a great job.
Yeah, and I'll tip my hat straight back to the community out there in iRacing because I tell you what, the GoFundMe campaign is going to be closing very soon because we're just about hit our goal, which is absolutely fantastic. And
really, that's awesome, mate.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. And I reckon by Monday night, I'm hoping I can announce that we've hit the goal and we're done. And then I can start doing the serious business of getting all the hardware together and then repaying everyone's generosity by doing some even better broadcasts.
Bring it on, mate. Bring it on. So, if you could, you know, you've got so much of the community and even other broadcasters behind you, and especially now that you've got, you know, even iRacing have acknowledged, you know, your coverages and all that kind of stuff. So, to give you one of the slots, so just, you know, that's just so great on your, you know, for what you've done. You know, not, you know, the last far out, it'd be at least a year or two, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. It would be, yeah. But yeah, definitely looking forward to we're covering the Australian split of the Australian the World Gamers qualifying series here on RRTV, and of course RaceSpot TV is doing the American slot. So we're very excited to get that and showcase all the Australian talent. Hopefully the Australian New Zealand community will come out in droves. That'll be on a Saturday night, 8 PM, and take it to the internationals. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, we need to get everyone to give the internationals a bit of a butt kicking, so it'll be good.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Anyway, Dave, thanks for the plug, mate. We'll let you go.
You need it, mate. So, you know, in a good way. It's like, you know, even from your SSR, thanks for everything you've done. And actually, on a funny note, which you'll have a good laugh about, after our last chat before race 2, I said I was watching the stream. I muted it and accidentally left that running during that race. So hopefully pretty much I think my ping may have been a little high, but thankfully I have NBN, so I don't think it would have made too much of a difference. So I didn't hear it because I had it muted, but it was playing in the background.
If you had had the volume up, you would have been like me and Bailey were sitting in the back seat calling the race for you.
Actually, would have been pretty funny.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, we've got Braden Bateman waiting patiently down there, so we'll bring him up. And, yeah, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, mate.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
Hi, Braden. Welcome to RRTV Combox. Thanks for waiting, mate. Looks like we have you down in 14th position, up 14 positions, so that's an awesome effort.
Yeah, cheers. I wanted redemption over that last race. I wasn't too happy with it, so drove my backside off and got up there. So happy with it.
Yeah, and what was it like out there in race 2? Was it as crazy as it was in race 1?
Oh, you know, like just getting around the right people, and it was really fun actually. Dave Oliver and a few other guys had a really good battle, and went for pretty much the whole race. It was just non-stop, passing and having a look. Oh no, can't do that. Oh no, can't do that. Oh, where have I got nap? So it was really fun for the whole race actually, that one.
Fantastic. Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. We saw some of the battles there, and it looks pretty crazy. But of course, you know, coming up 14 positions, you had 18 laps to do it. That is a very good effort. So you must be very happy with that result.
Yeah, thanks. My quali, I screwed up a lot. Every lap I had something different, so just driver errors pretty much. So I wanted redemption for race 1 because I screwed up. Driver error again was my fault. Then ended up like 40th or something. So wanted to push and paid off really.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm going to hand you over to Bailey now. And Bailey, did you want to have a chat with Braden?
Yeah, g'day Braden, my little young Padawan. Hey, you've done pretty well tonight. You've done an exceptional job, and yeah, how do you think you fell leading up to the race?
I think you're my Padawan, to be honest. Yeah, not too bad. Like, I'm pretty sure I couldn't have done any more, to be honest. I mean, I'm really stoked with that event, with that ending to the race. Like, had a really fun race. Finished where I did, I'm stoked, and starting where I did, you know, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, we brought you up multiple times throughout the stream because you're wonderful driving. At one point, you and Dave Oliver were getting pretty close, and there was some awesome racing there. So, when you're coming into half those corners, Brent, do you get the nerves on a little bit, or no?
You don't want to look in your mirrors because it's scary, but you got to because you don't want to be that guy that cuts the nose off. So yeah, you get the nerves on a little bit. It's, you know, it's part of it. You know, it's fun. But
It sure would be a lot of fun out there, and it would have been awesome to get out there tonight. But you've done a wonderful job and getting in front of your team, West End Mazda. Would you like to thank any sponsors tonight?
Yes, I would like to thank our sponsors, West End Mazda and WP Concreting, and also the broadcasters. They did a wonderful job, and also the people that make this event. Thank you very much. That was a very lovely and very fun event, and thank you for all the people that put the effort into this and make it go on for a really fun night.
Yeah, they do a really good job on the race director side of everything. But thank you very much, Braden, for jumping in, and I hope you wish the best of luck in the future.
No worries, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. That was Braden Bateman, folks. Up 14 positions, coming home in 14. If you're wondering why the Synergy Sim Racing car is on the camera here, Dave Oliver's done it once again. He's parked his car on the track here, Bailey, and my cameras are locked on him. I can't change them. I was trying to go to blimp, nothing's working, so he's getting a free plug while we're interviewing other drivers, so that's a bit sneaky of him, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got the same thing happening here. I can't change to any other driver, and it won't let me do anything, but yeah, that's all fine.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, anyway, Bailey, thanks once again for joining me tonight. It's been a long time since you were with us, but I tell you what, it's fantastic having you back. You've slotted back in as if you've never left, so well done on your commentary effort tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bernie, and thanks for getting me back into the commentary booth. It's been a great night, and it's been a great couple nights. It's seen all the couple races, seeing all the cars out there again. It's like I never left, as you said.
Yeah, pretty much. It's exactly right. And of course, folks, if you're wondering where Bailey went, well, you were busy with your studies, weren't you, mate? Studies and work commitments for the last few months. So hopefully you've got those things sorted out a little bit now. Yeah,
they're definitely sorted out a lot better than I had them at, and doing a lot better now, and it's great to be back on a Friday night, being able to commentate late at night, and or for myself late at night, and I'm sure a lot of other people out there racing along with yourself, Bernie, all the commitment, and some of the 1-2 o'clock finishes we had. Yeah, it's been great to get back, and I do thank everyone for the support they've given me.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, anyway, folks, it's at the end of another broadcast here on RRTV, so wherever you are in the world, thanks for joining us. Whether you watched us on iRacing Live or on our YouTube channel, we really loved having your company here. If you possibly can, come and join us again tomorrow night when Daniel Leet and myself will be calling the SRA Asia Pacific GTE Championship. And I tell you what, folks, they are racing for a drive in a Caterham on a drive day. So another massive prize there from Caterham Motorsports backing that series. 10 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you're joining us on iRacing Live, check their guide and that will give you the local time. But until then, folks, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did calling all the action here at Sonoma. Until next time, on behalf of Bailey Hall, I'm Bernie Wiemers, and we wish you all a fantastic weekend. Good night.